We got a special, rare Saturday night watch party, Philadelphia Sports Pitch Fest. I don't know what we're going to do tonight. We're going to watch the end of this Bills game, the beginning of the night's game. We're going to talk about the Phillies, Eagles, Sixers, and Flyers. We're going to talk it all. Trending in the PM. We are live, taking your thoughts and opinions in 30 seconds. And a very good evening, everybody, and welcome all to Trending in the AM meets PM. Trending in the PM, live on the STT Sports Network tonight, Saturday night, a rare Saturday night watch party, hangout, drink fest, whatever you want to call it, whether I'm live for an hour, 2, 3, who knows what the plan is going to be tonight. But please, before we get started, before we start talking Philly sports, before we start talking about this Broncos-Bills game that is underway, please, first and foremost, whether you're watching this live or you're watching this later on replay, it is free to do it, guys. Wherever you are, wherever it is on the screen, please hit the like button. Please subscribe to the STT Sports Network YouTube page and share this out on at least one of your social media platforms. Your support in growing this channel cannot be appreciated enough by me, so I'd greatly appreciate it. We are starting this Saturday evening at 981 subscribers. Let's get there. Let's go. 19 away from 1,000. We also have a great poll question for all those people. We're booming on Twitter real quick, but we have a poll question on YouTube this evening. What is frustrating you more right now as a Philadelphia sports fan? 1, the Philadelphia Eagles loss and season ending. 2, Sixers' recent struggles. 3, Flyers now going on 30-plus years with a goaltending issue. And, of course, option 4, Phillies' crap off season. Obviously, this week has not gone the way for the Phillies. Guys, like, share, subscribe, vote on the poll question. It is free to support your local content creators growing their networks with clicks. It does not cost you a thing. Phillies, 2026, I don't know. Flyers, yeah, they're struggling. Eagles, we hope. Good morning. I'm here for the rant. Dude, I got some ranting to do about the Phillies. No doubt about it. We've obviously got Phillies on my mind. And as I watch the Broncos just punt after giving up the game-taking over touchdown to the Bills, all I want to do is bitch about the Phillies. You know, the morning show on Monday, we will talk Phillies. But this is for everybody, just bitch, moan, and vent. I got a huge-ass goblet of red wine here, which will make me honest. And I'm ready for it. I'm ready to complain about Dave Dombrowski and the Phillies. I'm hoping Josh Allen loses his football game, but I more want to complain about the Phillies. I doubt the Phillies win in 2026. Not really upset about Bo not signing. I'm upset they caved to the unreasonable demands of the old catcher, a.k.a. JT Realmuto. Look, the Bo Bichette story, if you really break it down, Bo Bichette and his agent just used and abused Philadelphia, the organization and the fan base, right? Used us to drive himself. There are reports of a 7-year, $200 million deal that he was going to take. Was it really ever on the table? Was he ever really considering it? I don't know. Now, what I do know is that he was never in the cards. And then he magically was. Then he wasn't. Okay? And Dave Dombrowski's decision to run it back again in 2026. What happened the last time the Phillies ran it back for a 5th year in a row? Hint, hint, 2012 happened, okay? So you know what? This is nonsense, ridiculousness. Dave Dombrowski, the game has passed him by. I haven't got over the Eagles, the Phillies, that's another story. I'm not over the Eagles' loss, but I am also. Because just like I really, truly never believed the Phillies were going to make the necessary moves, I never really believed the Philadelphia Eagles were built with all the problems they had on the offensive line to really, really, truly win. What's up, Josh Allen's wasted career? I'm nervous here. You should be. Of course, just for you, I want Josh Allen to lose. The only reason why I'm rooting against the Bills tonight is because of you. You solely. I don't even know your real name. You're the only reason I'm rooting against the Bills. Otherwise, I'd be cheering for them. Obviously, it's been a back-and-forth game, so far. But, yeah. Jason, what is up, my man? He's a Hall of Fame GM, but he is past his prime. Talking about Dave Dombrowski. Let me tell you something. Sometimes when you get a little older, you're just resting on your laurels. He used to be known for the big. He's the guy that traded how many prospects for Miguel Cabrera, right? The guy just doesn't have the cojones anymore, right? He doesn't really have the ability to make the big, bold decisions anymore. The game has passed him by, and it sucks. It totally sucks. You know what's funny? I got hyped, and I got excited for Bichette, right? I did. But one thing you got to understand about Dave Dombrowski is when Dave Dombrowski signs or trades for a major player, there's never any rumors floating around. And there was a lot of Bichette rumors, which makes me think that this was all smoke and guns by Bichette and his agents to drive his price up. And I said it on the morning show on Friday, trending in the AM. I said, now that Kyle Tucker's gone to the Dodgers, not where we all thought, that the next domino was Bichette going to Toronto or New York, the two teams that lost out on Kyle Tucker, that they were going to up their ante to him. It looks like Buffalo's marching right down the field again. Look, until I know your real name, until I see a face to go with the account, I'm always going to root against you. That's what we do, right? Tired of the Philly shenanigans. I am. And here's the thing here. Yeah, I'm not blaming Middleton. He is willing to spend. I am massively blaming John Middleton two different ways, right? If he would never have said, I want my effing trophy back, I'll spend stupid money to do it. If he didn't say that, whatever. Let me give you a little nugget here on John Middleton, okay? All right? When Bryce Harper was a free agent before the 2019 season, Matt Klentak couldn't get the job done and get a deal signed for one of the top free agents to make this team better, right? John Middleton stepped in on Matt Klentak's shoes there to get the deal done. Then he stepped in and saw that Klentak couldn't get the job done and relieved him. So where was John Middleton this offseason? Stepping in to help Dave Dombrowski get the deal done. Where was John Middleton stepping in and saying, look, if you don't got the cojones to do the job, I'll find somebody else. John Middleton will spend money. I get it. And that's good that he's willing to spend the money. They have the third highest payroll in baseball. They also have the oldest roster in baseball. Okay? So John Middleton has to be held accountable for not holding Dave Dombrowski accountable. It's not about the money, so to speak. It's about the accountability. And he doesn't hold his people accountable. We should have had Bichette, but the Dodgers really screwed us. You know what? I'm envious of the Dodgers. The Dodgers do whatever it takes to win a title and be in contention for a title every year. And I'm jealous of them. I really, truly am jealous of them. The Mets had to save face with the fans. Look, Bichette to the Mets sucks, but the Mets just always met anyway. There seems to be a lifelong curse on the Mets. So, and I think that's why Bichette's got that out after 1 year because he knows he wants to get out of there as quickly as possible. There are multiple reports that we had 7 years, $200 million, which is $28.5 million per year, and he was given $42 million a year over 3 years. But the thing is, Bichette gets $42 million this year, And if he wants, he can opt out after the year. If there's no lockout, he can opt out. And he'll be the top free agent again next year. He's given himself a 7-year deal for a 29-year-old, puts him as a free agent the next time at 36. He'll be 30 and could potentially be a free agent again. It was really smart business by Bichette, what he did. Can't get mad at the Phillies. They tried to sign him for a long-term deal. He is definitely not worth $42 million a year. Just like Kyle Tucker's not worth $60 million a year. The way I look at it, these players took longer-term or shorter-term top-heavy deals with opt-outs because Tucker has an opt-out after 2 years because with the pending lockout, with the pending financial issues of baseball, they're looking for quick outs in case things get fixed in a better. I don't think I'm egregious for thinking John Middleton has failed recently for not holding people accountable. Oh, yeah, he writes those big paychecks out. I get it. But what's the point of big paychecks if the big paychecks don't result in titles? Got a second and 10 years, 7 minutes left. Broncos got to try to get off the field. The Dodgers are just on another level, and I love it. It will be over next year with the lockout. Absolutely. Now, I think that they want a salary cap. I don't know how a salary cap will work. I don't know how a salary cap will handle all the big contracts out there. But I think, is there a fumble? We might have a fumble. We might have Denver Broncos getting the ball. Hold on, we got a lot of Broncos pointing one way. Nope, refs gave it back to the Bills there. All right, Bills got it back on the fumble. I just don't know. I know they want a salary cap. If they want the salary cap, you better be prepared for a full year of no baseball. I'm really, really mean that there might be a year. Jason, go start working out. It might be so long that you might have to have replacement players, and maybe you can get your chance in the bigs. You're not. I know I'm not egregious. The deals are egregious. Gotcha. I thought you were calling me egregious. Gotcha. I knew once they signed Adolis Garcia that this was going to be a bad offseason because Adolis is arguably not even an upgrade. I agree. I mean, I know you disagree, Jason. Elephant, I agree. He's an upgrade defensively over Castellanos. But outside of that, I mean, more likely than not, you're going to get the same bat. Now, in a flip side, maybe you get lightning in a bottle with him, but the odds are we won't. Yeah, it's going to end up being a great time. But see, the thing is, are you really only paying $10 million for Adolis Garcia? If you cut and eat 20, you're basically paying Adolis Garcia 10 and eating 20 million Castellanos. So really, Garcia's in theory, if you look at it with a sick, twisted mind like me, you're paying $30 million for Garcia. Technically, Casty's on this team. And honestly, they're running it back. Why not just run it back and pick Castellanos back too? Screw it. Have a Castellanos, Garcia, Crawford, Marsh, 4-man outfield platoon. Sure. Why not? Go for it. Why not? You know, Garcia had 323 in the postseason. I know you texted me this. Look, that's all great. That's all fine and dandy. You got to get to the postseason first. You got to be able to win the postseason for that to matter. Okay? Look, I know his numbers are good in the postseason, but big picture, he has struggled recently. I don't even have Garcia's stats up to even look at them right now. Talk about guys who don't produce in playoffs. Look, we were just texting a little bit. It all comes down to Bryce Harper, honestly, the Phillies. If Bryce Harper can't be Bryce Harper, then Garcia, Castellanos, Bichette, none of it matters. Our issue has been producing in the playoffs. There is no doubt about that. Okay? No doubt about it. But I'd argue that the regular season is important this year because, honestly, this team might be in a worse spot right now for the long haul for 162 games than they were last year. Okay? Everybody's getting older on this team. He had a good playoff run during a career year, a year in which we didn't see before or since. Look, that's where I stand, Elephant. Me and Jason disagree. We texted all day yesterday, me and Jason, about this, and we disagreed on it heavily. You're hoping for the best. You got to be prepared for the worst. Maybe in the middle happens. Well, it is definitely time for everybody to produce in the playoffs. It is. All right, we got a 3rd and 5 here. Broncos need to get a stop and hold the Bills to 3 here. They do. Josh Allen's going to run it. He's going to get that with ease. Where's that kind of an offensive play call for Jalen Hurts? Watching these teams in the playoffs just frustrates me so much. Knowing that our team has the talent to be better than all these guys, but we couldn't do it. So frustrating watching the Bills play right now, knowing that we're not. Watching the Broncos play, and we're not. Like, really. That was a great 3rd down play call for a 1st down by the Bills. Jalen Hurts is more than capable of that as well. And look, now we're going jumbo package under center. A clear run play. And it didn't go anywhere. I get so frustrated watching the other teams when my team gets eliminated, whether it's any sport. But even more so because the Eagles are so uber talented and aren't playing right now. A lot of coaching, stuff going on. I have not read the article from Bleeding Green Nation. I'm assuming Brandon Lee Gouton wrote the article. I will read it and be prepared for that for Monday. Look, do I think A.J. Brown asked for a trade after week 3, after he had 100 yards and 2 touchdowns? Probably not, okay? Do I think A.J. Brown voiced his frustrations and probably said, get this shit right or get me out of here? Did he say, I want to trade or else? Probably not. But did he say, yo, get this right or get me on to another team? He probably showed his emotion in a meeting somewhere privately. And I wouldn't be shocked by that, okay? I still think we are better off with him than without him, with his drama than without his drama. I truly believe that. Because his drama, while it sucks, he's still an elite wide receiver. One of the best, 38 here in this football game here. Another big 3rd down, little pump fake. That ball looked like it bounced. That's going to be a touchdown, but I think that was an incomplete pass. Yeah, I think that was an incomplete pass. 4th and 8. You got to kick the field goal here and go up 4. Look, Phillies owners are stupid how you let the Mets steal Bichette from you. The question is, was Bichette ever really on the table? I really think that Bichette might not have realistically been on the table, okay? And I said it to Jason a few minutes ago. It's not about the Phillies owners whether to spend money or not. My beef with Phillies ownership is strictly around them not holding Dave Dombrowski accountable, Rob Thompson accountable, Kyle Schwarber and Bryce Harper accountable. You got to hold people accountable. And we're not doing that right now. All Philly sports are in a downward spiral. Eagles, we really are. It has been the last 10 days in Philly sports has been brutal. Okay? I think we're like 1-10, all 3 teams combined, plus 0-4 with free agents in baseball. God damn, it's been bad. We need to trade our prospects and get Scooble. Look, I get it, and I would love it. Who wouldn't? And I'm fine with trading Andrew Painter for Scooble and Miller for Scooble. Look, I'm fine with that. Totally. But honestly, I don't know if trading for, well, hold on. Scooble's great. Is there a Scooble level player that's a fielder / hitter that's available in a trade? Because we've got Sanchez, we got Luzardo, we got Aaron Nola locked up, good or not, for a long time, right? Zach Wheeler, still here. We have a great pitching staff once Wheeler comes back, if Painter does what Painter should, and I fully expect a rebound year for Aaron Nola. What we need is the Scooble level hitter on this team. The natural, pure 320 hitter that's going to drive in 90, hit 20 home runs, hit 45 doubles. Basically, we need a Bo Bichette, right? So is there a Bo Bichette level guy that you could trade for? We need to use our prospects anyway. Look, yeah, we never do. Exactly. I made the joke when we signed, what's his name? Edgar Renteria's kid. I forget his first name. Obviously, his last name's Renteria. We'll see him in 2037, right? When he's 29 years old. Exactly. Might as well. You know me, Jason, very well. I am always a big believer in prospects are just that, prospects, and it's perfectly fine to trade them. Cannot think of anything that the Phillies can do to improve at the moment. Yeah, just getting Kettle Marte, which they probably wouldn't trade for now anyway. That wouldn't help. Would Cody Bellinger really move the needle? He's going to get overpaid now. Probably not from us. We need a little spunk. I see this comment here. We need a Jason Worth. We need a Jason Worth. We need a Shane Victorino. We need not to pay $15, $20 million a year for a 35-year-old catcher. Flyers shit the bed again today. No goalie, no defense, no scoring. Look, since I wore a Flyers shirt on this show earlier in the week, they're like 0-3 and lost their starting goalie for a pretty lengthy time. I'll never wear a Flyers shirt on this channel again. I can't say that. I probably will. But you know what I'm getting at there. Broncos trying to march down the field here. Guys, and if you haven't, hit the like button, subscribe, share this out, tell a friend. 19 subscribers from 1,000. I need that. I need that injected in my veins. I need to see that 1,000 number so bad. So do your part. Help us out. Vote on the poll question as well. I really want to see the Broncos make the comeback here. I do. But what I want to see more is the Phillies make smart decisions. I said it. Change isn't necessary for change's sake with the Phillies. But we've seen this now not work for 4 years, 22, 23, 24, and 25. Why do we think? Like, we are right now looking at another Phillies lineup. I had the Phillies lineup written down. Right now, our Phillies lineup this upcoming year. I've got it right here. The Phillies lineup this year. Turner, Schwarber, Harper, Bohm, Marsh, Garcia, Stott, JT, and Justin Crawford. That sucks. Plain and simple. What happened here? Got wide open guy. Nice first down there for the Broncos. Yes, but Wheeler has 1 or 2 years left. Yeah, I get it. Look, I'm not saying no to Scuba. If you go get a deal for him, I'm fine with it. I'll take it. I'd be hyped for it. But let me tell you something. We still need a Scuba-level hitter on this team, too. Pizza shop sold. Eagles lose. Now fire. Dude, the pizza shop sale has brought so much crap onto Philadelphia sports. It is 100% my fault that Philly has shit the bed. I sold my pizza shop and all went downhill. Who's going to retire? Zach Wheeler? Yeah. I think Zach Wheeler has 1, maybe 2 years left, and that's it. I think he's got 2 years left on his deal. He might retire before that even. And look, there's no guarantee that Zach Wheeler is going to come back. I mean, a blood clot's a blood clot. That's a serious thing. Some athletes do not come back and make a full recovery from it. The prognosis is strong on him, but, there's no guarantees. What's up, Marshawn? Sean Payton is who people think Nick Sirianni is when it comes to maturity. I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing. Getting Scooble in his prime is the right move. Go for it. It's going to take you. It's going to cost you Painter, Miller, 2 more prospects. I don't know who. And maybe someone off the, I don't know. Maybe it might cost you Luzardo too. Honestly, they're going to want a surer thing than Andrew Painter, but it's definitely going to cost you Painter, Miller, and at least 1 more top end prospect. Then you lengthen this window. It's true. This is Josh Allen's year. So I've heard. Maybe. It's a 2-minute warning. Broncos are driving. Phillies are in such a weird spot that I can't even find a comparison between them and really Scott Napoleon. Look, they really are. I mean, they're the 3rd highest payroll in baseball, yet they're nowhere near the top 5 in best teams in baseball at this point. They're like the 8th or 10th best team in baseball with a top 3 payroll. I know it doesn't sound like that much of a difference, but it really, truly is. People actually think the Mets are going to win with Bichette. That's why Bichette got himself a out after 1 year. If the Mets met again, then he's got an out. I saw Rhys Hoskins as a free agent still. Bring him back. No, stop. Although Rhys Hoskins at first, you move Harper back to the outfield. I don't know. No. Stop. No. Don't even try to convince me to do that one. Sean Payton is immature, but let people tell you we need an adult in the room. Yeah, look. Anybody that wants to fire Nick Sirianni can go kick rocks, okay? Arguing all day on Twitter about that. Can't find good pizza since I left. Well, I apologize for that. That means you got to branch out and try more pizza shops then. Bichette's going to be a free agent next year again. But he also banked himself some big money in case there's a lockout. Look, I respect what Bichette did. He leveraged Philadelphia against everybody else. And it wasn't even close. It wasn't. Yeah, I mean, Harbaugh, I thought signed, and I guess he didn't, and now he officially did sign. He's not going to solve the Giants' problems. He's not. Not even the least bit going to solve the Giants' problems. I saw a quote that he is going to report directly to the owner, and he hopes to have a great partnership with the GM. So basically, their GM, Joe Sheen, is just going to be put in the equipment room, and Harbaugh is going to have full control. That's what it sounds like. But time will tell. With all things considered, are the Phillies closer to a championship or a rebuild? I don't think they're close to either. Because Schwarber, Turner, Harper, Nola, Painter, Sanchez, JT are all here for a long time. But they're not close to a championship either. Because we've seen this core fail so many times. So they're like kind of dead even between the two. They're smack down in the middle between rebuild and championship. And look, we can bitch and moan all we want. But again, as I've said before, if the Phillies randomly, not Phillies, if Bryce Harper randomly regains his MVP level form, even close to it, this is the first time I read in his career that he didn't get one MVP vote. He even gets one MVP vote next year. That means he's even better. And that's huge. The Giants don't scare me at all. The Giants, to be scared of the Giants, you've got to assume that Cam Scadaboo is going to be okay. You got to assume that Malik Neighbors is going to be okay. You got to assume Joe Sheen is going to give Harbaugh everything he wants. You got to assume a lot. And I can't assume any of it. Any of it. Bring in Eugenio Suarez. Doesn't he play third base too? Yeah. Is he a free agent? He strikes out a lot. I know we talked about him at the deadline. Does he make too much of a change? I don't know. I'm not sure. Look at that. Nice first down run and slide. Maybe a late hit, but they're not going to call it for Bo Nix. But yeah, it's a first down, Broncos. 1 minute left in this football game. Hit 49 home runs last year. Yeah. We tried to get him at the trade deadline. Giants are going to be a threat. Not even close to me. The Giants aren't going to be a threat. Like a threat to win 6 or 7 games, maybe. But that's about it. That's their peak at this point. Batum clean up for protection for Harper and then trade Bohm. Is Garcia a massive improvement on Bohm? Overall, big picture. Power-wise, absolutely. Protection-wise, probably. Defensively and overall, I don't know. I think Bohm's a better than we realize player. He's not a good player or a great player, but he's a really good, solid player. I think we overhate Bohm because of his personality a little bit. What's up, Dives? I haven't heard from you in a while. Phillies have entered full-blown Glenn Rivers Sixers territory. I don't understand how people exactly. I think this is the best comparison of the Phillies. They are in Glenn Rivers territory, okay? They're in schedule loss. They're in no accountability. They're in stars don't perform. Touchdown, Broncos. And he got hurt as he made the catch. Mims Jr. makes the catch in the end zone, grabbing his tailbone as he goes down. Probably leaving a little bit too much time on the clock for the Bills, but they got 3 timeouts in 55 seconds. What a turn of events in Denver here. I would be happy with Suarez. He's definitely protection for Bryce down here against lefties last year, but career numbers against lefties are really good. Do it. If that's what it is, do it. He held on to that ball. That's a touchdown to me. That is a touchdown, clearly. They beat the Eagles last season on crutches. They did. I get it. I understand that. I still think that they don't scare me. That was a dime. It was an absolute perfectly thrown ball. If that was the Eagles, A.J. Brown probably drops it in the end zone. But, that's another subject for another day. That's, if they overturn that and say incomplete pass, then there's script writers involved. He's got the ball 2 feet down. He's got look. No. That's a touchdown. If they overturn that touchdown, that would be some crazy shit right there. They're not. They're kicking the extra point now, so that's good. All right. Now we get to see if Josh Allen can pull some magic. 3 timeouts in 55 seconds. A field goal to tie. Easy. Plenty of time left in this football game. There's not plenty of time in the baseball offseason to make the Phillies better, but there's plenty of time for the Bills to come back here. We'll say, look at that throw again. Like, on the money. On the money. Anyway. Look, we got 2 conversations going right now. 3. The football game that's on, the Eagles-Giants comparison, and the Phillies. We can also talk about the Sixers. We can also talk about the Flyers as well. But there's just no reason to get excited for the Phillies. Like, it's 96, 97 wins just doesn't excite me anymore, right? Winning regular season games doesn't excite me. It's what do you do in October? And this team has failed in October. And you failed to make any drastic changes to this team. Like, I thought I was crazy early in the offseason saying that the Phillies should let Kyle Schwarber walk, should consider trading Bryce Harper, should think about moving on from anybody and everybody, Rob Thompson, right? And I was crazy for it, right? And I get that. Oh, that's a tough question right there. Who is the bigger free agent, Nakobe Dean, Dallas Goedert, Reed Blankenship, or Jalen Phillips? I'm going to say I'm going to power rank these in 2 different lists, okay? Who I think is most important for the organization and who I want back here, okay? So I think is most important for the organization, Jalen Phillips would be 1, okay? Scary, I'm going to say it. Reed Blankenship would be 2. Nakobe Dean 3, Dallas Goedert 4. That would be the most important for the organization. Jalen Phillips because, edge is always an issue, right? Reed Blankenship because we have no safeties, and Reed Blankenship's a captain. Nakobe Dean 3rd. I mean, we still have Phillips or Bowen and Campbell, right? And Dallas Goedert, you could probably survive drafting somebody and picking up somebody off the bench, off free agency, right? But for my love of the players, Nakobe Dean would be 1, Jalen Phillips 2, Dallas Goedert 3, Reed Blankenship would be 4. But that's just me. Surprised the Phillies or Yankees didn't grab Alonso. Well, the Phillies, I can't speak on the Yankees, but the Phillies, to grab Pete Alonso, you'd have either had to do one of 2 things. Let Kyle Schwarber walk, which I was okay with doing. I love Kyle Schwarber, but I would have been okay with that. So Pete Alonso could have DH'd, at least some. Or they would have moved Harper to the outfield, which they made comments at, well, Rob Thompson's made comments at multiple times. that they don't want to do. They don't want to move him back to the outfield, and I'm okay with that. I think Bryce Harper at first base, I mean, the dude never played the position. He's a borderline gold glover at it. Did he get his knee in? He did not get 2 feet in on that catch, Brandon Cooks. Huge pickup, Cooks, right? By the way, huge pickup by Cooks, late in the season. They called it incomplete. Okay, good. He got 1 foot in. A knee counts. His hand went out. His knee came down, but his hand went down first. Yeah, Fernando Valdez, if you can get him on a 1-year deal, sure. I don't know what his financial market is, but right now, until Zach Wheeler comes back, you've got both. You got both. Taijuan Walker and Andrew Painter in your starting rotation. And that's not good enough, right? Valdez from Astros, our BP should be better with Brad, or bullpen, yeah. Absolutely. Brad Keller, I see people saying he's a massive upgrade over Strom. I don't know about massive, but maybe a smidge of an upgrade over him, so I'm okay with that. Full season Joan Duran, absolutely. Our closer position is solidified for the first time in I don't know how long, and that's great. The legendary movie Goldeneye came out 31 years ago today. Wow. I feel so old knowing that. So old knowing that. That means I was 14 years old. I saw it in the movie theaters. I was 14 years old when I saw that in the movie theaters. Damn. Young Phil getting hyped for that. Wow. I think part of the reason, hold on, 1st and 10, going up top. Oh, he had him too. I think part of the reason they want to keep Bryce at first is because he's properly paid for first. Maybe. They don't want to risk him getting hurting that shoulder again, which he already did once. Okay? I wouldn't want him to have to be forced to be a DH again because he threw his arm out again. All right? He plays really good defensive first base. So there's a lot of reasons to keep Bryce at first base. 2nd and 10 from the 41. I bet you Josh Allen's wasted career is on the edge of his seat. Oh, we got a little hook and lateral here. Huge gain. We've seen that a lot in the last couple of weeks in the NFL. Hook and laterals, okay? Wow. Got to burn a timeout here. I've seen, where was this kind of play with the Eagles this year? I've seen at least 3 teams. I forget who. At least 3 teams run that recently. Bryce is going to be back to form. His underlying metrics say it was a decent year. He was a really good year last year. Okay? Just not Bryce Harper MVP level year. What's up, Keith? Allen is such a wild card. He is. And there was a big drop in the end zone on him earlier in this game. And everyone's going to say, see, Josh Allen has to do it all himself. But yet no one's going to give Jalen Hurts any love for all the drops he saw just last week, let alone all year. And that's what frustrates me. And there's no doubt Josh Allen's a special talent. It's he just gets graded differently for some reason than Jalen Hurts. Well, I have some theories on the why, but that's for another day. What's up, Keith? Make sure you guys are all hitting the like button. You're voting, you're subscribing. We're going up top to the end zone. There might have gotten away with a hold on his arm there, but uncatchable ball. 2nd and 10. 19 seconds left in this football game. Having ourselves a ball here. Watching this. Yeah, that's a good no call. He caught his arm right there at the end. I guess that's fine. I guess that's an okay no call. It's about a 50-yard field goal from here. If he can't get a first down, you still got a timeout. Whoa! That could have gotten intercepted very, very easily. Very easily could have been intercepted. It's a clean drop. Ouch. 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 You can't. Look, at first I thought it was a hold. I'm like, good call. Then on the replay, once you see him clip his arm, you're like, yeah, you got to call that. At least a hold, right? But got away with it. What's the score? It's 30-27 Broncos. 16 seconds left. 3rd and 10 for the Bills here. They're in field goal range. Almost got a sack on them. Overthrew an open Dalton Knox there, Josh Allen, on 4th and 10. So you're going to have that. Tony Romo just nailed it. This should have won the game. Not could have won the game, should have won the game. He just overthrew a wide open Dalton Knox. That was a clean touchdown if he doesn't overthrow it. So it looks like they're going to kick a 50-yard field goal to tie it here. So let's see what Matt Prater can do here. Can he send this game into overtime? Well, in theory, overtime. There'll still be like a few seconds left. Oh, we got a timeout. Okay, timeout. Timeout. I don't think Bellinger makes sense unless we get him on a short deal. Yeah, look, Cody Bellinger, again, I wouldn't be shocked if Toronto gives him a big deal. They've lost out on Bichette and Tucker now. The Yankees said no and backed off of him. Somebody's going to give him a deal. What's he worth? Early in the offseason, I liked the idea of bringing Bellinger here. I did, as one of several moves. I don't think they'd spend big on the outfield, though, at this point. And I'm not sure why, but, Garcia is why I don't think Bellinger will sign here. But if you can get him on a 2 or 3 year deal with early opt-outs, go for it. Upgrading Marsh to Bellinger would be nice. And then you could have Marsh and Crawford platoon in center field. I'd be okay with that. Kick drilled right down the middle. There going to be about 6 seconds left. Should probably be 6 seconds. Not 5 seconds. But it looks like we're going to overtime here. We are going to overtime most likely here. The Mets are going to Met is basically what it is. The Mets are going to sign him. Maybe. Mets are going to trade for Peralta too. That's the you're talking about the Brewers pitcher. Maybe. Bellinger's going to be 30-37. Well, we thought that Tucker was going to get 7 to 10 years. We thought Bichette was going to get 6 to 8 years. Thinking someone will give him $180 to $220 million based off the last 2 big contracts. I don't know. Maybe he signs a 3-year, $120 million deal. Maybe. I don't know. But Cody Bellinger, I originally had him in the $25 to $30 million range. I had Bichette 25 to 30. I had Tucker 35 to 40. And everyone's signing shorter deals with bigger money. And it's kind of crazy to see how and why it's played out the way it has. It really is. I don't think he is either. I also don't think Bichette's worth 42 or Tucker's worth 60. That's why I'm not a GM in baseball. What was that? That was a weird kickoff. That looked like a Michael Clay kickoff team or call right there. Michael Clay's a free agent. We actually need 2 coordinators, not just the OC with the Eagles. We need a special teams coordinator as well, as he's a free agent and taking interviews elsewhere. If you did not know that, now you know. Check out my golf lineups here for the day. It's been an up and down first week of golf this year with the Sony Open happening down in Honolulu. Yeah, up and down still with not much goodness happening. All right, we're going to overtime here. I heard about that as an option, Jason. I don't know when. Definitely earlier this year. When did I hear about that? I definitely heard about it at some point this offseason. Or not offseason. Maybe he was available at the deadline last year. I definitely heard his name bounced around with the Phillies in the past. Right? And I forget when. It's not crazy. It's not awful. But is Boston really shopping him now? I don't know. $42 million for Bichette is kind of crazy. It really is. It really, really, truly is. Boston has a surplus of outfielders, and they're going to move. They are going to move Duran. Is it going to cost me Painter or Miller? Probably. I don't know. I would love not to have to move Miller, but you probably have to at some point. Saw the report today. Gotcha. Yeah, I haven't seen that today, but I remember seeing. I know his name was bounced around the trade deadline last year. Know that for sure. Who's getting the kick here to start the overtime here? We're only 15 minutes away from another big playoff game. Seattle, San Francisco. We're staying on the air. I plan on being on the air till about 8:30, 9 o'clock. So we're going to watch a bunch of football here while we're talking Phillies, while we're talking Eagles and Sixers and Flyers. So, guys, hit those buttons. You know, like, subscribe, share. There's only 9 likes on the video so far. 10 of you watching. So get those buttons clicked. Go find a friend or two to subscribe, please. Doubt it, but please. I'd appreciate it. I always find it weird. I know the rules are different in football now than they were before. But I always find it weird to defer when you win the coin toss in overtime. It just doesn't make sense to me. Right? I know you kind of get to see what you have to do. So if they score a touchdown, you have to. If they get a field goal, you can feel like they don't do anything. You can just win it with a field. I get all that. But to me, it's really weird. Tucker making more than Josh Allen. Baseball's a crazy sport, Jason, with salaries. It really is. It's crazy. Tucker is making more than Ohtani. I mean, he's making more this year because of the deferrals from Ohtani, but in theory, Ohtani's making $70 million a year. In theory. There's just a crap ton of deferments, okay? And that's all there. Yeah, I get it. It's still weird. It's insane, but in theory, he's not making more. Ohtani's contract was what? $700 million or something like that? Yeah, I mean, look. Again, I said it all week. We've seen the death of long-term contracts. That is a fantastic question from you, elephant in the room. You know, this is not just classic, let's bash on Ridley Scott elephant in the room here. This is, let's have a serious question, baseball related. Have we seen the end and the death of a long-term contract? Until we know what's going to happen with the next collective bargaining agreement, yeah, maybe. Teams are very scared to give out long-term deals. They are. And most of these players hit the realm of long-term big free agent contracts when they're, 28, 30 years old, 32 years old. Do you want to give a 10-year contract to a 30-year-old player? You're not giving 10-year contracts to 24-year-olds because they're still under team control. And we've seen too many times buying out the team control backfire on teams. Scotty Kingery. I think it's a great question. I think, yes, we are seeing the end of it for at least now until we see what the next collective bargaining agreement is, until we see what the next agreements are, whether there's a salary cap put in place or not. But, yeah, we might have seen the end of it, at least for the time being. I think it's a great question. And, I love great questions because I wasn't prepared for that. I don't have an answer for it, like a set answer. And I love it. I'm going to write it down, too. Maybe I'll tweet it out. End of long-term contracts. I think it depends on whether a salary cap is instituted. I think the bigger issue that needs to be addressed is a salary floor. Yeah, look, I think the biggest problem with the salary cap is, all right, so the Dodgers are like pushing 450. The Phillies are at like 325. The bottom end teams are spending like $80, $90 million. You put a salary cap in like baseball and football, or in basketball, football, they got to spend it. You have to spend a certain amount. Teams like the Pirates, you put a 300 or 200, say you put a $250 million salary cap in baseball, right? It's not going to make the Pirates want to spend more money, right? It's not going to make the Milwaukee Brewers want to spend $200 million. All it's going to do is limit the amount of money the Dodgers could spend, right? And the Phillies could spend, right? Nice pass first down. Broncos. So a salary cap, I don't think, helps. Now, a salary floor, forcing some of these teams to spend more money. Doesn't baseball have revenue sharing? So these teams, these cheaper teams get money from the richer teams, right? I think that's still part of the game. But they're not required to spend a certain amount. I don't think you get revenue sharing help if you don't spend enough money, is the way it should be. I don't think baseball will ever have a salary cap. I really don't. Maybe they will make the penalties for going over the luxury tax steeper, but that's it. They need to make the bottom feeders spend more money to close the gap. I think that's what it is. I don't think a salary cap, but more a salary floor should be required. Yes, but if you put the floor in, then teams have to spend a certain amount. Exactly. I think there's already a revenue share thing. I don't know the details about it, right? I'm not sure the details at this exact second. But I know the Pirates get money from the Yankees and the Marlins get money from the Dodgers and stuff like that. And they all do from the Phillies. I know that's a thing. But to get that money, maybe you got to spend more. You got to use that money to increase your payroll. The fact that Scooble or Skeens might not stay with their organization long term because their teams can't afford it because their teams refuse to spend that kind of money. It's no offense to those players. I want them to stay in Pittsburgh and Detroit. Why? Because that's what the fans of Pittsburgh and Detroit deserve. You get a generational player and you can't keep them. Why? Because you don't want to spend the money? It's ridiculous. Broncos are going to be punting here. Josh Allen and the Bills just need a field goal to advance. And then we get right into the next game. Bo Nix just not quite ready yet for the big time. Anyway. I feel bad for small market cities like that. When you get generational talent and you get them for their first 3 years and you move on from them. 4 years, you move on from them. It sucks. It really does. See what we got here for what kind of field position are the Bills going to get. That looked like a soft punt there. That was a good angle. Wow. It was great. Looked like it came off the side of his foot, but I wasn't paying super, super close attention. It's interesting. Baseball and basketball are both going down a dark place, but man, baseball is really, really in trouble, financially speaking, at this point. Bo Nix had some good ones. He had some bad ones there when it mattered most. But look, I'm a Bo Nix guy. I'm in the business of Bo Nix. I'm in the business of what the Broncos are building there. I am. Josh Allen does thrive in overtime. He does. This is the moment which proves my point. I said defense was going to win in the playoffs. Broncos have given up 30, but they got a great defense. Do they have enough to make one play here? Do they? They have enough left in the gas? I mean, the old James Cook to nothing there. Hey, thank you. You got to make sure he understands some of the greatness behind me. Like my Harry Callis picture here. Make sure Isaiah knows and learns who it is. Make sure he learns and understands who Doctober is, okay? Make sure he understands. I'm sure, though, all he really cares about, Isaiah, is my little Philly fanatic pillow guy here. That's my buddy right there. He's a gamer, if nothing. I agree. Bo Nix has got a lot of swagger, it factor for a second-year player. I'm curious and excited to see what his career becomes over time. Gets up in the zone. Josh Allen, get him. All right, we got a third down upcoming here. That is awesome. You got to start him young with the sports talk, right? You got to start him young, right? Comes out with a football in one hand and nails and a hammer in the other in overtime. Is that what it is? I like that. I don't know. He had Dalton Kincaid there. Nowhere to go deep there. I guess he could have heaved it deep, I guess. I don't know. All right, let's see. Can the Broncos D come up and flip the field position for the Broncos here? Get a sack or something here. Bills got to be gasping wind in the mouth. They're just rushing two. They're getting pressure on Josh Allen with two players. Wide open. Man, he steps up to run, and he finds a tight end open. Which one? I don't even know which tight end it was. I just know it was one of the tight ends that they got. I don't know if it was Knox or Kincaid there. You had him there, and you had him there. Look at that. Somebody just lost their guy on that one there. Interesting. Now the defense has got to dig deep again. Nowhere to go running-wise. Ah, man, whatever. Wherever. Let's go. Whatever you got. I'm an unemployed man. That's why I need to hit 1,000 subscribers so I can start making more money on this channel. Right? Anytime. You got that connection now. You get them? Let's go. Just on Tuesday nights for golf. I can't interfere with golf content, right? It's got to be a weekend, I guess. 2nd and 7 upcoming here. It's always good to have connections, right? I have no connections. Always want connections, never have connections. Bills-Niners Super Bowl. Yeah, see, the weird thing is, when I owned a pizza shop, as soon as the Eagles got knocked out, I always rooted for what Super Bowl would be best for business. Now I get to root for what Super Bowl would be best for me, like I would enjoy the most. I think I could get behind a Bills-Niners Super Bowl. I think there's enough storylines there. Right now, do the Bears present a bigger story than the Niners? I don't know. Do the Rams present a bigger story? Maybe. I want the Texans because I want defense. Give me a Texans-Seattle Super Bowl, and I'd be excited. Give me a Texans-Rams, Texans-Bears. Basically, the Texans versus 3 of those 4 NFC teams would be great defensive games that I would love to see. I love watching defense. I love watching tough defensive lines get after quarterback. Get him from behind there. Nope, he steps up again. Flings it out there to Cooks. Nowhere to go. We got another 3rd down upcoming here. Rams, Bills, I mean, that would be a shootout potentially. We'd get a lot of offense in that game, right? You're looking at a 60-plus total point, game there, right? Be an interesting one. Stafford wins and goes out on top. That'd be an interesting one. Yeah, advertisers don't want no Seattle Texans. Pizza shops outside of Seattle and Houston don't want that. That would have been a record low pizza shop sales for me. That's for sure. For Super Bowl speaking wise. Can they stop him here? Nope, he's going to get the 1st down. Is that Alex Singleton making a shoulder tackle forward? Yeah. Good old Alex Singleton. Former Eagles linebacker. Great human being. Great brother. I think this defense of the Broncos might be getting a little tired. I've had a pizza shop for 0 days. I sold it on November 18th of last year. I had it for almost 18 years of operation. Sold it on November 18th of 2025. So I'm now 2 months unemployed now. Doing a little DoorDash for shits and giggles and some money. Chilling out for a couple months while my body rebounds from 18 years of running my own pizza shop and 30 years of restaurant experience. Not sure what the next job's going to be. Next career's going to be. It was mostly takeout and delivery, little dining, Italian style. Okay? Hand toss style. good quality food. I mean, it must have been for 18 years in business, right? Another 2nd and 10 upcoming here. I forgot, Vaz, that you're newer to the channel and you don't know all the details of my life like that. Yes, like New York style. Very New York-esque. Drop pass. That'll be blamed on Hardman for dropping it. That was a bad throw by Josh Allen, though, realistically speaking. Saw people all hyping up Josh Allen to drop in the end zone, making excuses for him. And Jason, I will watch my language now that I know Isaiah is watching with you. Not that he understands truly what the curse words are just yet. Going up top deep. He's got him. Oh! Oh, he intercepted that. Oh! What an interception. Wow. What a play. Wow. It's up there. It's in his hands, and he just rips it away. Wow. Yeah, I get you anytime you need. I get you on the phone. What do you need me on the phone for? Whatever advice. You can find me on all social media platforms at Beard A Knowledge, and I'll answer any of your questions that you need. TikTok, Instagram, Twitter. That's how you find me on all platforms. Maybe someday I'll create a Discord too for chats, or a Slack channel for chats. Are they going to leave this interception? Wow. You think he's down? They're not overturning this. Wow. 5 turnovers for the Broncos, and we're still in a 30-30 game here. Yeah, why were they on the ball so quickly there? Wow. I mean, either way, it was a huge play. They're using a timeout, hoping the refs challenge it more. No, I don't think he's down. I think the ball's still moving around his arms. I don't think he makes a complete catch there. I think that's a clean interception. I think that is a clean interception. Yeah. I think that's a good call. I think that play stands. Now, if they ruled that a catch for Cooks, I'd find it hard to overturn it. I don't know. I think that's an interception. Do you have a pizza shop? I'll give you plenty of pizza shop advice. Maybe I'll start a pizza shop consulting business. That'll be the way I make money. Maybe I'll give you a little free advice. And that's how I start my little consulting business, right? If you have a shop, you let me know. Here, I'll type it in the chat. This is how you find me if you want to talk on any social media platform, okay? There's my Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok handle, okay? That's how you find me, okay? On any platform, all right? You send me a DM, we could chat. Not much of a phone talker, but, maybe I will. All right, Broncos 2nd and 7 here. This is crazy. This game ain't going to be over when the other game starts. Has the other game started yet? Nice cut. Keep going. Stays on his feet. Wow. That is a big-time play right there. Big time play. Look at this cut right here. Gets Thompson on his back heels. Missed tackles. That's what you love to see. Gotcha, my man. All right. Going up top. No. You could have called a hold there. They didn't call it in the end zone earlier in the game, so guess you can't call it there. All right. I was going to switch over to C, but if the other game didn't start, that's great. That's great. Yeah, it's a good no call right there, especially if they're letting them do this all game long. You set the tone, and you let it play out that way. You don't change it middle of the game. 2nd and 10 here. They're saying that this kicker for the Broncos could kick a 60-yarder. It is Denver. Yeah, that's interesting. I think I'd want a closer than a 60-yard field goal, though. I would. Just after 8 o'clock. We're already an hour into this show. We might be going for 2.5 hours tonight with how exciting some of this football is. All right. 2nd 10. Come on. This game really slowed down here. Same play. There's a flag this time. 1st down, in field goal range. You try to set this guy up for a little closer. Oh, I want the Broncos to win. I do. I mean, I root for the Bills, but I root for being able to bash Josh Allen as well. So I love bashing Josh Allen for being overhyped. Uh-oh, there might be offsetting penalties coming. Oh. Oh, yeah, that's a clear. That's a clear. Is it Joey or Nick? It's Joey Bosa. Clear late hit on the quarterback right there. Clear late hit there. They should go. They should let both plays, both fouls count. 15 yards added on to the end of the play. I think that's a bad call, honestly. Honestly, I think it's a bad pass interference call. There's a lot of hand checking going on right there. I think it's a bad call. Really bad call. Hate to say it. We're at a 54-yard field goal spot right now. Still passing the ball. Nope, they're going to try to run it. They lost 2 yards on it. You just made your field goal even harder. I mean, obviously in Denver, 50-some yards is nothing. All right, come on. I'd get a nice run right up the middle. No, play action again. Going up top. He's got him. Oh, and he dropped it. They did throw a flag. He looked at one guy. The other, that was a late throw of the flag. Late throw on the flag. White's pissed. Josh Allen knows his season's over. Wow. I got to see the replay on it. Got to see the replay, but that seals the deal basically here. That's a bad call, too. I guess he got there a second early, but man. Wow. Got there a smidge early. Was a soft call, but he did get there early. I did not place one bet on football this weekend, okay? You know why? Because you ain't wrong. Now they're setting it up for the right spot. Now forget loop. What? What? All right. Lutz is kicking for the win here. We got some Buffalo Bills players getting out of hand. Let's just make the kick even closer. Yeah. He's going to get a little fine in the mail for that one, too. He's going to get an invoice from the league offices on that. It's about time to switch over to the other football game after this field goal goes through. And another Buffalo Bills season about to come to an end. Unless a Jordan Davis block field goal miracle happens. At this distance, you ain't icing the kicker. It's just a waste. Waste of my time. I don't even remember. I don't remember what you're talking about, or my mind's just not functioning correctly right now to understand that one. All right, we're about to come on. Just kick the field goal so I can switch the channel to the Seahawks Niners game. Here it comes. Snap is down. It's good, and the kick is good. Buffalo falls again. Again. Oh, you gotta love. You hate to say it, not. And the AFC Championship game will be in Denver next week. All right, so let's switch over to this other game here now, which is still not kicked off yet, but there's good old Aaron Andrews getting the set for the kickoff. All right, 49ers. Sam Darnold playing. It looks like he is. All right, let's move on to the next game here. Time for another football game. Time to get back to Phillies and Sixers and Flyers and Eagles talk. We're an hour and 15 minutes in the show. Like, subscribe, share if you have not. I know there's not a whole hell of a lot of people watching tonight. Maybe Saturday night, trending in the PM is not the way to go. Maybe I should do a better job of promoting it because I really didn't promote doing this tonight too well. I just wasn't really sure whether I was going to do it or not. It's kind of like doing it on a whim. Gotcha. I kind of forget about it. I know it can happen, but it didn't happen. So there is that. All right. Let's move on to the other game cast for my screen there. Check in on my golf lineups and scores. My phone's dropped my phone. I'm going to kick myself offline by doing that. Let's see how we're doing here tonight. Slight little move up there. All right. Anyway. We're getting set for another game here. I am definitely not staying on for this whole other game. I'm not doing 3 more hours here tonight. I mean, I could, but I'm not going to. Anyway, while we're waiting, let's get back to talking about the Phillies for a little bit and this offseason a little bit. And again, I stand by my statement. The Phillies organization plays us as fools. They do. They treat us and play us as fools. Tricking us into believing they're trying to regularly build contenders. And they're not. Like real contenders. Not playoff contenders, title contenders. They trick us into believing they're going to get these big guys when they don't. They find a way to convince us that running it back again works. I'll say it again. Last time they ran it back 5 years in a row was 2012. And we know how that ended. Not good. Just kicked off a terrible stretch in Phillies history, right? What did they do that all season? They signed Marlon Byrd to have a rebirth in the outfield. This year, running it back, signing Adolis Garcia to have a magical comeback in his career. I think there's a lot of similarities between the 2012 Phillies and the 2026 Phillies at this point. And that's scary. That's Sean Payton's balls. What? Look, good for him, I guess. I mean, I'm not really a Payton fan, not a Payton hater. I like Bo Nix. I can't stand the Bills. I love seeing the Bills lose. I love seeing Josh Allen lose. Nothing is better than seeing Josh Allen do so much and come up short again. Nothing better than that. To be brutally honest with you, Noobs. How you doing, Noobs? Hope you're well this Saturday night. Been here for a while. Missing a few of the core here tonight, but been doing this for a little while tonight. An unprepared, unprovoked, trending in the PM. Did Josh Allen have like 3 turnovers in that game? Something like that. This week's been a big kick to the nuts for all of Philadelphia sports. Sixers struggling. Their shots not falling anymore. Flyers injuries and losing nonstop. Eagles season ends and the Phillies miss out on free agents. Yeah. It's been a big kick in the nuts this week, though. It has been. And it snowed today. And it's going to snow tonight and tomorrow again. I mean, I shoveled my driveway today, and I got to shovel my driveway again tomorrow. Although they underpredicted snow for today, maybe they've overpredicted the snow for tomorrow. That would be the goal. That would be the hope, right? I don't think so, but maybe. Oh, look at that, Seattle. I had no idea the Seattle Stadium was right on the water like that. Had no clue. Wow. Who do we got in this? Seattle? Darnold is playing. Who we got? I still stick to my Seattle winning 28-17. That was my Friday prediction for this game. That's what it was. There it is. That was textbook quarterback play, arm to the inside shoulder and fall right on his chest. The interception, yeah. Yeah, the officiating, some of those PI calls late in that game were pretty brutal. I agree. I know that's what you think. I highly doubt it. I think Brianna might be Rick's burner account. There's some bad calls there on that last drive, for sure. For sure, plain and simple. You hate to see that. Who's that raising the flag? Who is that? I don't even know who that is. Oh, Baldwin. No, I think that was a clean interception. I disagree. Some of the PI calls, sure, but I disagree. I think that was an interception. I don't. I don't think that should have been overturned as a catch. I don't think Cooks ever had full control over that interception. It's Seattle versus 49ers kicking off in 10 seconds here on my TV. Might have already kicked off on your TV, Marshawn, for sure. Josh Allen deserves exactly what he gets for all the love that he gets, okay? 3 turnovers today, all right? And that kick return is, we got an opening kickoff? Are we getting, might have been a block in the back there. Yeah, it's coming back. There's a block in the back right there, which was an unnecessary block in the back. Wow. They got to call that block in the back there. Stop celebrating until you know the flag. Oh, they're saying it's going to count? I mean, I can't tell because they're not showing anything but the crowd. Wow. A kick return to open a playoff game. When was the last time that happened? Oh! A tripping call. Oh! Number 18 tried to trip him. Wow, that was dirty. Can both of these losers lose this game now? Yeah. You want them going to the Cowboys or Commanders or Giants? No. Anyway, somebody do a Google search for me. When was the last time? Oh, the kicker's the one who tried to trip him. Kicker wanted nothing to do with tackling him. When was the last time a playoff game opened on a kickoff for a touchdown? It can't happen that often in playoff games. It can't, right? We would have no prayer in this house with Patullo. Not a block in the back, I don't think. I thought it was. I saw a block in the back, but yeah. Can you tell us who scored? Seattle. Are you not watching the game? Don't you have a TV? This is not like on a local TV only. You got Fox. You got the game. I saw that right away. The trip, yeah, I missed that. Come to the Eagles, Josh. No. Yeah, I mean it's crazy. Super Bowl 96, Desmond Howard, last time. It's been that long, 20 years since an opening playoff game has had a kick return. Wow. You want me to go play by play for this game? We're just here to crack jokes and have fun. No. Turn your TV on. Just well for the Bills. Couldn't happen to a better fan base. I don't feel bad for him. I don't feel bad for Josh Allen. I'm not watching this game. Both of the I mean I hear you. I just planned on going live for like 2 hours, so I'm only going to be here for another 30 minutes max, Marshawn. It is what it is. Josh Allen, is this era's Jim Kelly? Jim Kelly, maybe. Maybe this era's Dan Marino. Yeah, maybe. I don't know. Jim Kelly played in Super Bowls 4 years in a row. Josh Allen ain't making 4 Super Bowls in his career. So, yeah. Great quarterback can't win a Super Bowl. Great quarterback in the regular season, not in the playoffs. Can't even get. That's why I'd call him the Dan Marino, right? Yeah. Anyway. Brock, oh my God, Purdy got smoked. I think that's an incomplete pass, but they got to let it run out. Yeah, it's an incomplete pass. Brock Purdy got clobbered on that play. What's up, Chandler? Yeah. LaShawn McCoy's talking trash because blaming everybody but Josh Allen. When in theory, he just doesn't want to say anything nice about Jalen Hurts. All summer of Brock, all summer of we would have won in 22 if Brock didn't get hurt. Yeah, look. Brock almost got hurt on the first offensive snap of the game. Yeah, LaShawn McCoy loves his Bills. LaShawn McCoy's not stupid, Chandler. LaShawn McCoy knows when he bashes the Eagles, it gets him clicks. He knows if he bashes the Bills, nobody hears because nobody's listening in Buffalo. Blaming the refs for making the right calls. I think some of the PIs late on that last drive were ticky-tack, but the interception was the right call without a doubt. It did. It did. It did. I saw Christian McCaffrey running forward before the ball got snapped. Almost a sack there. Only reason why that's the only, yeah. They only have jobs because they know if they bash Philly. Let me tell you something, Chandler. If I ever get a job doing this that pays me money, I will never just say shit for clicks. It's also probably why I'll never get a job. Speaking sports. Because I won't just say shit to say shit for clicks. Philly does bring clicks because we have a passionate fan base that's smart enough to smell it, right? To know it is BS, right? We can detect it very easily, all right? And that's the thing right there. We can detect it. Buffalo wouldn't know. No would have hit him in their face. Do not think he got the first down there. We got a third and short upcoming here. What is up, my man Duck? How you doing tonight? We're having a little fun, cracking drinks, cracking jokes, talking Philly sports, watching football. We watched the conclusion of an exciting Bills-Broncos game and kicking off this game here. Don't know how long, much longer. At least till 9 o'clock we'll go. I'm happy Bills lost, but I don't love Sean Payton. Yeah, look, that was like two evils right there. I can't even pick which one was the lesser of the Eagles. Buffalo was cheated, and I saw Jason Avant at my local bar tonight. Oh, Buffalo was cheated, okay? 5 turnovers is 5 turnovers in a game. Stopped on third down. Defense wins. And Jason Avant, that's cool. Did you tell him to subscribe to the STT Sports Network? Did you tell him to listen to the best sports talk channel in Philly? Duck, did you tell him that? If you cared, you would. Eagles, Cowgirls, Shador Sanders, the stimulus package for the NFL media. I love that. I love that, Keith. It really is. It really is. When you're struggling, that's what you do. They're going for it early on 4th and 1. It's an interesting call here. What was a whistle? Well, that's weird. A late whistle for the timeout. Late whistle on a timeout right there. Nothing worse than late whistles in sports, period. Plain and simple. Nothing worse. There's definitely a delay. I'm seeing comments here, but they're not popping up on the screen. They popped up delayed last time as well. So I'll get you all your comments in a second here. There definitely seems to be a little comment lag going on right now. All right. And I'm not sure why. We're still going for it again here. Trying to run to use check. Yeah. That had nowhere to go. That play. Nothing going on there with that play. Trying to jot some ways here. Oh, they all just came in at once here. While White slamming the helmet was dumb, yes, it was. He just laughed at me when I said hello. Sorry. Bo Nix had okay numbers and wins behind a great defensive play, and they praise him. Let's hate on Hurts when he does the same. Yeah, that's true, Big Al. That's true. Nothing wrong with that, with what you said there. I don't love the field goal on 1st and 1. Too many blocked kicks these days. More of a smile, nice to meet you kind of smile. Yeah, I don't think he really wanted to meet you. That really was the perfect cornerback play on the Cooks interception. It really was. It's the equivalent of dropping the ball when you hit the ground. There's absolutely nothing confusing. Yeah, exactly. Spot on call right there. I like when they come up short, then say, no, they took a timeout. Jalen Hurts has the locker room in turmoil for a Super Bowl winning quarterback. It wasn't all Patullo. I don't believe that Jalen Hurts has the locker room in turmoil, okay? I think it's nonsense. 3 loggers to the win and feeling pretty decent. Yeah, I had a nice big stout earlier. Now I'm drinking some Paisano. You guys got me till that glass of wine is done. I love that timeout. I like the way the studio is decorated. Yeah, I appreciate it. I like the studio. I like the way I got it looking here, right? Got to work on the lighting. I got a light. I got to figure out a way to get the light in the right spot to not burn my eyes. You have the momentum, and you can force another turnover in this. Look, we'll see. Still a lag on comments. Don't understand what's going on with comments here and why they're taking so long to show up on my screen. Almost got to like log out and log in again. Seems like that might be the only way to make this work. At 15 likes. If you haven't hit the like button yet, guys, please do it now. I'd appreciate it. There's what? 1, 2, 3. 3 comments that I have not seen pop up on my screen yet. And the poll question of the day: what is frustrating you more right now as a Philly sports fan? Eagles loss on season ending, Sixers struggles, Flyers 30-year goalie drought, and Phillies crap offseason. The Phillies are 41%, the Eagles are 35%, Sixers and Flyers both at 12%. Trying to find a way. What worked the last time that I rebooted this? I don't know. I don't know. I think this is the other option right here. We'll go with the second option that I've got to get comments working again. You can get to see 2 of me. That's how we solve this. You get 2 of me. There we go. Now we got a fresh tab open that might refresh the problems. It was Patullo, a competent OC. could have tilted. Deanna Rossini was right all along, was she? Maybe. I don't know what to make of the A.J. Brown situation, and I'm still working on my thought process on it for Monday morning, Marshawn. I'm not sure. I still don't want to trade A.J. Brown. He might want it, though, and we'll find out. It wasn't all Patullo. Jalen should have spoke out and not keep the main thing the main thing. That is something I wish he would do more of, right? A little bit more vocal. Yes, it's a chalice. I got these Chimay beer glasses a long time ago, and I never used them. Then I started using them for wine. So I can say I'm having one glass of wine, despite it being like an 18-ounce goblet. Is the vector for most sport? Yeah, exactly. For some reason, she knows all about that. Big run. Big run on second down there. San Fran thought they were good at beating a team with an O-line on one leg and an OC that zero play. Yeah. Phillies won't have a good offseason until they get rid of Harper. Free agents don't want to play with him. That is a bold, interesting, weird take that I don't know. I don't know how I feel about that. Is Bryce Harper holding the Phillies back? I don't know. AJ will be AJ. Hurts is a coach's kid. He's not going against the coach's decision. I think both those are accurate statements. And I think both of them are true. I think both of them are okay. She knows who to talk to, and she knows how to make shit up as well when there's nobody to talk to. Yeah. Eagles need some tight end-ish situation solved, for sure. JSN in the backfield here on 2nd and 6. Does Seattle do that a lot? I don't know. I haven't really watched too much Seattle play football this year. Cooper Kupp just short of the first down. Shouldn't be a problem for them to convert, though. Isn't being touched until way past the line of scrimmage. Something that didn't happen to Saquon too much this year, right? Maybe Jalen needs to man up and say something. Honestly, you're laughing, you're joking, but if there's one thing that Jalen Hurts can improve upon to go from a really great quarterback to a special quarterback, it's him being a little bit more vocal. Publicly vocal, at least. You're the quarterback. I look at the Seattle running a tush push with Sam Darnold. She knows how to get in the ear of the person who's going to blow it up. I guess. Her and Jacina Anderson, right? A win is a win. Yeah. Jalen Hurts is a great quarterback, isn't he? How could you say anything otherwise? I mean, he is. I don't think that's an opinion. That's just a straight fact that Jalen Hurts is a great quarterback. Plain and simple. Do with that what you want. If anyone knows Darnold's weakness, it's Saleh. That is true. That's a very true statement. Robert Saleh is going to get another head coaching opportunity here. A lot sooner than I thought after that time with the Jets. Isn't being a winner what makes you a great quarterback? Or would you rather be a great quarterback that's not a winner? What would you rather? Jalen Hurts, who's a winner, or Josh Allen, who is not a winner? I'm just asking. The guy that's gotten his team to 2 Super Bowls and won one, or the guy that hasn't been to a Super Bowl yet? Nope, what? What would you prefer? Nick Foles is a great quarterback. Nick Foles is the greatest backup quarterback in the history of quarterbacks, okay? Why? Because when his number was called, he came in and won the Super Bowl. Dan Marino is one of the best regular season quarterbacks to ever play. Plain and simple. Exactly. Stats and MVPs don't mean shit. I'd be more picky if I were Saleh. I think a lot. See, that's the thing. Like, you hear Mike McDaniel and Stefanski they'll consider an OC position on a great team versus a bad coaching situation. I think you see team. You know, I always ask, why would you want your first coaching job to be on a shitty team, right? But you always want that first chance. When you've already had a chance, you could be a little bit more picky with that second chance. I mean, Baltimore has an expensive defense, supposedly a talented defense, and they failed this year, that defense. That defense was just as much to blame as anything else in Baltimore, right? Would Saleh fix that? Except at contract time, yeah. Former Jets head coach gets a mulligan. Former Giants head coaches get mulligans. Oh, wow, what a play. What a backfield stop on 3rd and 1 there. Wow. Chances are always there, so you take what you get. Yeah, I mean, it depends. Like, I hope McDaniel gets a head coaching job so he's not the Eagles head coach or offensive coordinator. But Robert Saleh, I thought was going to be a great head coach. It's just a shame he went to the Jets. Jets, every position gets him up. Yeah, it's true. It's true. Completions matter, though, right? I thought quarterback 1 finds a way to win. Yeah. You want your quarterback to find ways to win. Yes, Jalen Hurts did not find a way to win last week, right? Josh Allen is getting a pass because of drops and turnovers and whatnot. But Jalen Hurts doesn't get any pass for all the drops last week. Jalen Hurts' stat line would have looked massively different last week, and the results might have, if 4 key drops weren't made. Harper's the equivalent of Mike Trout, an overhyped player. I think it's too much credit. That's why Ohtani left the Angels. I mean, I think you have I don't agree, but I think you have a fair statement. Is Harper overhyped? I don't know. I don't know, man. I'm not sure if at 8:45 I've had enough wine to bash Bryce Harper yet tonight. He did not find a way to win. He put his team in a position to win, and his team failed. Now, he needed to play better, obviously. But if Josh Allen gets a pass this week, Marshawn, as most people will give him, my question isn't about last week specifically. Josh Allen is going to get another pass this year for drops, for penalties, for bad ref calls, whatever. Why can't Jalen Hurts get a pass ever, in your mind? Why the F did they try to double-team the tackles there? Not sure. I'm reading comments. I'm not even paying attention. Thought Dabble would be a good head coach. I was wrong. He still might be. If Saleh gets a pass from being with the Jets, doesn't Dable get a pass from being with the Giants? I mean, I kind of feel like he should, right? Not talking stats. Talking facts. Mahomes didn't find a way to win. Is he exactly. They missed the playoffs. Is he garbage now? Mike Trout made his choice to stay with the team that he had no clue about pitching, that has no clue about pitching for 425. Mahomes was down 30. No way quarterback 1 was rallying the Eagles down 30. Are you talking about last year or are you talking about this year? Jalen Hurts doesn't get any credit for last year's Super Bowl win? Football is a team sport. One person can make the difference, but one person cannot make up for the failures across the team. Mahomes had 2 1,000-yard receivers. He did not this year, right? We know that. So Jalen Hurts has to be held against him that he's got. So Josh Allen and Patrick Mahomes get a pass because their team's not good enough. But Jalen Hurts' team is good enough, and that's held against him because he's got elite players, right? Again, double standards. The double standards with Jalen Hurts is nauseating, okay? Plain and simple. Trout stayed safe, and instead of trying to compete, that's why I don't want him. I don't know. I saw some idiot account who's finally, after 5 years, about to have his first podcast, promoting it for 5 years. I'll believe it in 5 years if it happens, about Mike Trout wanting to be here. I wouldn't want Mike Trout anywhere here. Quarterback one shit the bed, plain simple. He did last week. But so did the entire team. Quarterback one wasn't the only one that shit the bed last week. Okay? Just like Josh Allen needs some blame for today, but he's not going to get any blame for today. And that's the thing. It's a double standards. It's the goalpost gets moved when you talk Jalen Hurts versus Josh Allen. Plain and simple. Trout didn't want to be here, or he would have been here. But look, everyone wants Mike Trout here. I've never wanted Mike Trout here. Okay? Mike Trout's not a Phillies fan. He's an Eagles fan from like Central Jersey. All right? It's not even a real Philly suburb. Hurts deserves blame for this year. Absolutely. I never have denied that Jalen Hurts deserves blame from this year. What I talk about is the double standard of Josh Allen. Another fumble, another turnover. Seattle's got it. Wow. Seattle about to rout the 49ers here. Rout the 49ers here. How do you hear the four verticals in the timeout? And he did say something. Did you see the video? Did you see the video of him look to Nick Sirianni like, yo, well, and Nick Sirianni's response? Literally, Nick Sirianni shrugged his shoulders and gave him look on his face. All right? Jalen Hurts tried to speak up. Okay? If anything, I just kind of nailed the coffin Nick Sirianni, my guy, which is another problem right there. Cam Jurgens was really that bad this year. Who would have had thought the Brett Toth injury would be a factor? Dude, seriously. The fact that I even remotely thought about wanting to bench Cam Jurgens this year, even in the playoffs, it's kind of crazy to think about it. You know? A lot of blame as per Big Al. Even Howie Roseman, exactly, Big Al. Even Howie Roseman deserves blame for this year, right? So beautiful. Like, I don't know if watching San Fran get smoked is beautiful because it just shows how he should have beaten them. What did he say? Jalen Hurts, you don't know what he said. Nobody knows. His back was to the camera, but you could see him listen and look right at Kevin Patullo, look right at Nick Sirianni, put his hands up, and Sirianni went like this. Okay? We don't know what was said, but Jalen Hurts definitely questioned the play call. Okay? Clearly questioned the play call. I guess. Hurts through the season to get revenge on Sirianni for firing his best friend, Brian Johnson. Now Sirianni's to fire his best friend, Patullo. I love that. That's next level thinking. All right, mister? That's taking the thought process to a whole new level. I mean, what are you drinking tonight, Marshawn? You're on fire in the chat tonight. What are you thinking about tonight? Howie and Lori should not have allowed that Patullo BS to go down. They shouldn't have. They should have changed it. The change should have happened much sooner. Okay? We're happy the Seahawks are pummeling the Niners. We would say exactly. He's from South Jersey. I went to school with him at Millville High. He was an ass then, and he's the same now. His dad was my history teacher, and he was rude, so I guess the apple doesn't fall. Look at this from says Tink JCM. Make sure you like the video, subscribe if you have not. Look at this. So first off, I don't consider Millville South Jersey. I don't know why. Hold on, I got to look at this on the map. I always thought Millville wasn't really South Jersey. All right, I'm not a Jersey guy. So let me look up Millville on the map. We're going to go to geography class, Holy Cross all over again here. Yeah, I guess it's South Jersey. It's down by Vineland there. For some reason, I don't really consider that a Philly suburb, but fine, whatever. He was an ass in school. His dad was an asshole, a terrible teacher. Love it. Love the commentary. It's a great detailed knowledge right there on that. That his family, he comes from a long line of assholes, basically, is what you're saying. And I love that. I love that little added detail from you right there. Again, we're back to comments being delayed coming through the screen, which is really annoying, to be honest with you. I'm trying to stay up on your comments, guys. but they're not coming through right away. And I'm not sure why. I've refreshed everything I can, so. I see there's like 9 comments on YouTube here. Al, you're drinking Blanton? I'm out of liquor. I got a few beers, and I got this wine, and that's it. That's all I got. We got some tea spilled there. What? Tanner would have won that game with the first team. My ass. Who was an asshole? What? She's saying that Tink said that Mike Trout was an ass and his dad was rude and stuff like that. Talking about Mike Trout and Mike Trout's dad. Yeah. I wish all these comments would pop up on my screen. What did Mr. say here? I should make up fake talking points for WIP. You should. You should. Fake points. Do it. Go for it. And you guys that knew Mike and said that he's a spoiled brat. In fact, I've never heard anything nice about him. Yeah. I'm pretty sure that's the same for pretty much all of us, right? Still don't know why chat's not coming up. All his family are very stuck up and thinks that they shit don't stink. I graduated a year before him in 2008, says Tink. Interesting. So he's that young still is what's weird to me. Like, I think of him as so much older than that, but it just doesn't comprehend to me. Darnold going up top. That receiver was, yeah. You got to throw a flag on that. So I don't know what's going on with the comments, guys. I don't know why they're not showing up on my screen. It is what it is. Don't know what to tell you. I guess I could try refreshing the StreamYard one more time. Happens occasionally on rare forums. Guess I could do one of these little resets again here on my screen. Kind of annoying that I got to do this, but it is what it is. Add to the screen. Take this screen off. And we're back, and we got all the comments back on the screen. See, now we're all caught up here again. All right, here we go. I don't think the Eagles can ever promote an OC. No, they cannot. Damn. There's the Blanton comment. Awesome. I would love some right now. We're just going to star all these because I was reading them on a side screen. I saw that already. All his family's completely stuck up. Saw that. Yeah, it was a massive DPI for sure. He just plays old. Baseball makes you old. That's true. I just missed a touchdown. Trying to fix the seam. JSN with a touchdown. We got a romp in effect here in Seattle here. Old people games makes you look old. Yeah. Man, it's a romp. It's a romp. So much for the talk that I gotta see the throw again. So much for the talk that Sam Darnold would collapse in the playoffs, right? With that throw. With that throw, that wasn't a collapse type of throw right there, was it? A 17-0 first quarter if he makes this kick. Yeah, I think that tells us all we need to know right there, right? Yep, 17-0. Wow. What a start. What a start to the game here. Anyway, 17-0. Seahawks looking like the real deal. Darnold not doing Darnold things scare me. What's wrong with the world? Exactly. What's wrong with the world when Sam Darnold is tearing up a playoff game, right? Said defense was going to win. Right now, the Broncos, their defense didn't do great, but they're great defense. Seahawks defense. Darnold, yeah, what was with the deal? He was hurt. They're gonna rub the score and bench him later in this game because of it. 49ers are done. Plain and simple. And we lost to them. How did we lose to this team? I really have no idea how we lost this team. To think some teams have 40 people have 49ers going to the Super Bowl. I did not. I had them losing this game, so you know. Darnold got the right shot in the right place. Yeah, Darnold's playing pain-free for some reason today. That's for sure. Yeah, 49ers will have an excuse for something. They always do. But realistically, don't we all have excuses? We all have excuses. Oh, man. Who else? I don't like Bradley Cooper Eagles commercials like this, the Uber Eats one. I don't know why. They rub me the wrong way. They annoy me. Am I the only one annoyed by them? And I'm not even sure why I'm annoyed by them, but I am. But I am. Sad the Eagles couldn't start like Seattle against the Niners this way. Boring, bland, Hurts cost the team. Well, I mean, this got started thanks to a kick return, and our special teams could never do anything like that. But yeah, you are just hating. What am I hating on? Yeah, I'm a hater. Yeah, I am. I don't deny that. There was no excuses for that Niners game we lost. Complete epic organizational failure, in my opinion. No blame on any one person. You are annoyed because you don't like Bradley Cooper. That's what Big Al was commenting on. I like Bradley Cooper. I do. I think Bradley Cooper's an underappreciated actor, honestly. His movies are better than people realize. Those commercials just annoy me for some reason. Ouch. Wow, that's crazy. All right, we're at the point of the show where we got to bash Ridley Scott, right? Is that what we're doing? I was going to call this at 9 o'clock, but since you guys all got here late to the party, I guess I got to stay later than 9 o'clock here. Eagles had to be told not to win against the Niners. Made no sense losing to scrub-ass Niners. It's why I was so confident that the Eagles were going to win that game, right? I was so confident the Eagles were going to beat the Niners and handily. Because I knew the 49ers were not a good team. But watching them play here, this makes it that the Eagles aren't a good team either. Obviously. How can I call the Eagles a good team when I'm seeing what Seattle's doing to San Fran? What? I hate his commercials. Well, it looks like he's getting exposed right now. You take away CMC, what's Brock Purdy? The 49ers fans will complain that the league needs to create a new rule that you can't have your crowd be so loud for games. Because it's not fair to the road team, right? They will turn it on. Yeah, no. They did. I thought a big hit was coming. He avoided a big hit, but it's third down, though, anyway. Oh, boy. There's so many quarterbacks, though, Duck, that are so massively overpaid, just like baseball players in the NFL. Purdy is one of them. Massively overpaid. I can make an argument that Jalen Hurts is, too, to an extent. The day we were wearing in the middle of the line this year, weary in the middle of the line this year. It could be that way. Look, me and you are on the same page. Me and you are the only ones that have consistently been talking about the middle of the line since day one of this season, okay? Me and you are the only ones on the comment that the Eagles should have sat Landon Dickerson early in the season. We're the only ones that said Cam Jurgens needed more time. We're the only ones on both those stories, right? 70-0, keep it going. Yeah, keep pushing it, right? Hurts has 2 Super Bowl appearances with a win. He's probably competent properly. Yeah, okay, that's fair. That's fair. Now, I think he is going to you're going to see a lot of talk of a Jalen Hurts extension this offseason. You're going to. It's going to help the cap by doing that. He's like the 11th or 12th ranked quarterback in annual salary, average annual salary. He's probably going to get a little pay bump, but one that helps the salary cap. Well, that's an obvious story, right? Elephant in the room. There ain't nothing we could do about it, right? Athletes are overpaid, and it's not any reason other than the TV contracts, right? Except for Chris Sanchez, he's definitely. I still say to this moment, elephant in the room, Christopher Sanchez is dollar for dollar the best value in Philadelphia sports, maybe in all of sports. He is. What's up, Jim? Look, I measured it. You wanted to hang a banner. All right, this is 30 inches. This is 10. You got room for about 20. You can get me a sign to advertise your business, 30 by 20. It can go right here, and I will advertise your business, 30 by 20, right there. Anybody else? I can fit another advertisement for somebody else here, about 30 by 20. I was in with you and Nooms on the sitting of Jurgens and Dickerson in the early season. Were you? I don't remember. I just know Nooms 100% was. Both Jurgens and Dickerson should have been out both Giants games and the bye. Absolutely. I think Dickerson should have sat out the first 2 or 3 weeks of the season. Quite frankly. You have knee surgery, and you play 2 weeks later on it. I don't care how minor that knee surgery is. It's not 100%. It's ridiculous. Come on. Get off the field on 3rd and 5. I almost feel like this is 4-down territory for the 49ers already. Almost got the sack. He's going to get him from behind. What kind of a wow. That was a dangerous, dangerous throw by Brock Purdy. If Jalen Hurts made that throw, people would have crushed him. Wow. Dude, I'm selling stadium space. I need that, whether they're free advertisements or what. Jim's my boy. I got my boy Jim. Jim don't got to pay for nothing. But I'll sell these walls for your ads. No problems. I know you do. I know. But right there, I'm saving this space right here. Whenever you're ready to put your advertisement on the wall behind me, right? You know, if Wentz would have had a season like this, the entire team would have fell apart in the turmoil. That's true. That's true. That's good vision, but completely. That is not just ill-advised. That's like, I don't know what's the next step worse than completely ill-advised, but whatever's worse than completely ill-advised, multiply completely ill-advised by 10, and then that's what that was. He got lucky. Plain and simple on that. I remember that. I do remember that. CMC is so shifty back there. So shifty. Anyway, where are we at? Refresh my phone here. 20 likes. 50 people have tuned in. That means some of you have not liked this video. No new subscribers on this Saturday night trending. It is what it is. Probably no shows tomorrow. Got a couple timestamps to check for tomorrow for shorts, but that's it. Malpractice of a decision. When there's malpractice, you need a lawyer. Does anybody know a good lawyer? Oh, man. Anyway, they're going to a timeout. I got about that much left of my wine glass, so we're not going just yet. But I will have to wrap this up in the next 20 or 30 minutes for sure. So I can enjoy the rest of my evening doing other things. Don't need to watch this football game. Whatever. What are we doing tomorrow? Should I go live tomorrow night? I don't know. I should probably go live tomorrow night for a little bit for Dakota for the Bears game, but probably not. Probably not. Man, Harry Hall's in the lead. Putting wins on an event like this. I said that. Connors. Got a lot of guys on this leaderboard. Hideki only 4 back for me. That's what I like to see. Berger. Fell apart there late. I thought about it. I don't know. That would mean I'd be live like 15 straight days in a row. Not that there's anything wrong with that, but I don't know. We'll see. We'll see how much snow's on the ground tomorrow morning, how much shoveling I got to do. Get momentum back with that fake punt and Cox injury on the same play. Yeah. Oh. That should have been a completed pass. Should have been a completed pass there. Shoulda, coulda, woulda. Right? Jalen Hurts would get crucified for that. Missed throw right there. Crucified. Third and 10. Upcoming here. Third and 10. Kind of feel like you got to go for it. Do you go for it here on 4th down? 4th and short, you get 3 points on the board, or do you go for it on 4th and 3? It's true. Now he gets a little extended break. Get himself healthy, right? You know what we want him to do? Did they? I don't know. They're kicking a field goal here, a 40-yarder. Probably the right decision to get some points on the board to stop the bleeding here. Although with the momentum Seattle has, I'd consider going for it here. Kick right down the middle, 17-3 now. But the curse is also a major drop in playing numbers. Yes. Seattle faked a few years ago. Anyway, they're on the board. I don't remember. Maybe. Not sure. You're asking me on a Saturday night at 9:10 to remember something like that. We don't all have brains like you, Nooms. This brain up here is fried. It's like the egg in a pan on drugs. That's my brain at this point. Plain and simple. Mm. 49ers playing like my drunk uncle at the family reunion. There's always that one person at like Thanksgiving that takes backyard football a little too seriously. My brain will be yeah. As soon as I get off here, that's when my brain will be as well. At this point, I was gonna call it at the 2-hour mark. Looks like we'll go 2.5 hours for the late bloomers here. They're coming in late, okay? I actually had some decent views and likes on this video today. Question is, why are there no new damn subscribers? Come on. Y'all better go out and find 5 of your friends to subscribe. 19 new subscribers is not much. But I need you guys. Let's go. Brain is drenched in lager. You know, I had a bunch of stouts yesterday and tonight. My sister got from one of her employees as a Christmas gift a case of homemade beer. And there were 6 stouts in it, and she didn't want the stout. So I took the 6 stouts home. For homemade beer, they were actually really tasty. Really tasty stouts. So I had a couple of them, and now my goblet of wine is almost gone. I'm almost. I got a little vibe feeling right now. I'm not fried yet. The droplet after the show will completely finish me, though, for sure. It's too late to watch something on Netflix at this point. We did watch The Rip on Netflix last night. Matt Damon, Ben Affleck movie. Not a bad movie, but predictably average. Classic Netflix movie. Nothing special, nothing bad. For as many great miniseries or limited series that Netflix does, as many great documentaries as Netflix does, their movies are brutally average. Never bad, but never good. Buddy Bill makes a nice stout and a good double Bach. How was the trip? Look, how was The Rip? The Rip was good. Supposedly it's loosely based off a true story. It just was predictable. Not knowing the story, but still predictable. There was action, exciting, kept my focus, but I was never like, wow, this is a great movie. It was one of those kind of movies, if that makes sense. It's one of those movies that would have been better suited to download to watch on a plane ride when you don't have Wi-Fi. And you just need something to kill 2 hours on a plane. Right? If that makes sense. That's what I would describe The Rip. There was a block in the back there. I just saw it. It was definitely there. They're just replaying the opening kick. There was a block in the back that was missed. Whenever I see another team run a classic running back screen, I get so jealous. The Eagles never run successful screens. It annoys me. It breaks my heart. I want to know when we're going to do it. But I know we'll never do it successfully. And it breaks my heart every single freaking time. 3rd and 2. Huge 3rd down for the 49ers defense here to get off the field here. Not sure about that play call right there. You try to keep the ball. You try to get a first down there. That's what you do. Interesting, but whatever. Anyway, I think I'm going to wrap this up. Soon. Wrap this up. Why is that? What did under Reed so well, but no other coach has been able to unlock the screen for us? Oh, why is the screen? I don't know why we can't run the screen effectively. Why we don't try to run it effectively. Why it's such not a part of our offense. It makes no sense to me. Nice punt, pin them inside the 5 there. I don't get it. Look, these losses I mean, really, to me, the Sixers' recent struggles come to the shooting of Tyrese Maxey and VJ Edgecombe to an extent. The massive amount of minutes that Maxey has played, I think, is catching up to him. I really think so. And I think the blowout the other night helped by him getting a few extra minutes off his feet. They spend so much time managing the Joel Embiid's minutes and his health and Paul George and whatnot. The Sixers might need to consider, if you can get Jarrett McCain going, give him Maxey an extra day of rest here or there. We're about halfway through the season, and we're hitting our little brick in the road, we're hitting our little dead spot. A good time. Gives us time to figure it out. Flyers' 20-year-old goalie needs to be up, as does Oliver Bank. Look, that's why I put Flyers' 30-year strong goalie drought as one of the options. I'm tired of bad goaltending. I know he was sent to the G League, and that's a good thing. He needs to get shots. It doesn't mean he's staying with the G League, okay? He's not staying with the Blue Coats. He's going down there to get playing time, and he'll probably be up by the next game and back down after the game, okay? He's going to do a lot of traveling back and forth, Jarrett McCain, and that's fine. He needs to be, right? Get him back. So maybe you could play Maxey a few less minutes. Whoa. What's this big breaking news? Bo Nix suffered a season-ending broken bone in his ankle. When? How? Where? That's crazy. What is going on with that? That's a crazy little bit there. That's a shame. I'm trying to look this up. I do see Josh Allen is now 0-3 in overtime in the playoffs, 0-7 in his career in overtime games. Wow. I'm seeing a lot of great Josh Allen stats right now. I do not see any. All I see right now, I just refreshed Twitter. All I see is stuff about Buffalo and Josh Allen, good and bad. I don't see anything about Bo Nix on here because it's the secondary story probably, right? Right? But, man, that's a huge loss. Who's Denver's backup quarterback? Because Sirianni doesn't know how to run the screenplay, doesn't know the game well enough to coach it properly. Wouldn't that be on his offense coordinator as well, though? Goalie drought was my choice of frustrating Philly sports things. Look, when was the last time the Flyers were really, truly set at goalie? Ron Hextall part 1? Not Ron Hextall part 2? Bo knows none. And no, NJ, I don't know. I mean, I believe Adam Schefter, of course. I didn't see it yet on there. Fake news? I'm going to go to Adam Schefter's Twitter page specifically to find it, to find his exact quote. Broncos quarterback Bo Nix 3 minutes ago. Season-ending broken ankle. Wow. That's crazy. Crazy news. It was tweeted, though. I mean, what does it say that we have this deep of a team where a first-round rookie pick that played well last year can't get time this year? Yeah. So many patch jobs at goalie for the Flyers over the last couple decades. All day to throw for Brock Purdy there. This backup tight end for the 49ers is having himself a game. Bo Nix backup is Jarrett Stidham. I don't think he's going to have a Nick Foles-esque game, right? And the backup to him is, oh my God. Can you add somebody in the, like where are you allowed to pull people from, right? Like, you can't pull from teams' practice squads at this point. Most practice squad people are signed to reserve deals for next year. Like, I don't even know what you do with this situation. I mean, that sucks. Absolutely brutal blow to Denver right there. It's like Brian Dawkins stage 4 cancer diagnosis. What? What? It's crazy. Bo Nix out, man. That's a shame. Damn shame right there. You hate to see it. Wow. Just free agents. Do you go out and get a free agent? You got to get, I mean, Judge Stidham, I mean, I guess. You're not going to get a guy with more experience in your own system. You got a great defense, but man. Exactly. Can we trade Tanner McKee right now? Go get Phil Rivers. That would be the ultimate. He finally gets to play for a Super Bowl with the Broncos at this point. Yeah, Nick Foles. Pull Nick Foles out of retirement. There's so many interesting things that you could call with that one right there. Interesting. I feel bad for the Broncos. That means tomorrow's game is so critical. The Patriots game. They got a real legit chance to make the Super Bowl, whoever wins tomorrow between the Patriots and the Texans. Can you imagine the Texans beating the Patriots tomorrow? The Texans defense against Jared Stidham in the championship game. Could you imagine that? That would be a crazy, crazy matchup. And then Stidham beats him? Can you imagine Jared Stidham beating the Texans defense to go to the Super Bowl? Shit, that would be crazy. That's what we're talking about here, Adam, for the last 5 minutes. It's crazy breaking news right there. Crazy, crazy, crazy breaking news. Had no thought process of that happening. I don't even know where it happened. Yeah. That's what we've been talking about, Jonathan, for 5 minutes here now on the show. It's crazy breaking news, right? Sorry, I'm defending Jalen Hurts right now on Twitter as well. So, is always who's coming out of retirement? I mean, Denver. I'm thinking Denver. Who could come out of retirement for Denver's history? Jake the Snake ready to come out of retirement for them? Jay Cutler? Seattle taking care of average Niners team so far. Eagles should be ashamed. The Eagles should be ashamed. Eagles should be absolutely ashamed. Literally no doubt about that. Playoff overrated, 0-7 in overtime in his career, 0-3 in the playoffs. He's on a team. I honestly, I'm not sure. I'm not sure. I mean, I guess his contract ended when the season ended for the Colts. Does that make sense? Maybe in theory. I don't know the rules there. I don't know. Colin Kaepernick's available. Sure, there'll be a tweet about him being ready to come in if the Broncos needed him. Oh, this Fox crew drooling over Brock Purdy right now. No comment, Big Al. No comment on that at all. None. Zero. Zilch. None. We're playing a little trickery, reverse flea flicker, screen wide receiver bubble pass. A lot of zip, zap, dipsy dooey for 1 yard gain. It's a terrible idea, Adam. Terrible idea. We want an experienced play caller, but we want Phillip Rivers? Get that nonsense out of here. I don't want Phillip Rivers as my offense. I'd rather bring back Kevin Patullo than Phillip Rivers. Actually, I take that back. I would not. The only person I'd take over Phillip Rivers or over Kevin Patullo is Phillip Rivers. Oh, man. Anyway, if you guys have not, hit the like button, hit the share button, hit the subscribe button. Surprisingly, we've kind of rebounded from a slow start to a pretty solid show tonight. It's only taken 2.5 hours of my night away. Big third down upcoming here for the 49ers and Seattle here. Big third down. I think a 38, 56-yard field goal from here. Just 4 down territory, maybe. Did he catch that and hold on to it? He doesn't look too concerned that he didn't catch it. Yeah, I was being a little sarcastic. It was just about your Phillip Rivers comment. That is not a catch. Not a catch. I'm sure he was. I can't. I've already started a bunch of shit to watch. I agree. Incomplete pass. Yeah, I mean, some of it's on Jalen, some of it's on the play calling, right? That's the way I look at it. Some of it's on the play calling as well. But yeah, Jalen Hurts, I don't know, I want to say he played loser ball. Jalen Hurts did not ruin the Eagles' season, but definitely needs to run the ball more. Plain and simple. The amount of hate that Jalen Hurts and Nick Sirianni is getting right now, in the sense of people that want to move on from them, it's really ludicrous to me. So do they say Josh Allen is elite now since he lost? They will. He's still the best quarterback in football. I'd rather spend the rest of my life in prison than have Kevin Patullo come back. That's probably an accurate thing. Does McDermott get fired? He probably should get fired. The way they lost, he probably doesn't. Field goal up and good. 49ers cut it to 11 points, 17-6. McDermott should get fired, probably, in my opinion. That's just me. But I've said McDermott should get fired for a year or two now. So I don't know if that's necessarily valid of me saying that. On the second up to last play of overtime, Broncos quarterback Bo Nix fractured a bone, right ankle. He's scheduled to have surgery Tuesday in Alabama. We felt it was best to tell everyone now. Wow. Second to last play. Which means he played a play with a broken ankle. So he threw that big bomb with I think the big bomb was the play before that. Man, crazy. They should reopen the trade window for teams out of the playoffs. They really should, honestly. They really should. I guarantee, Nooms, if that was the case, someone would be trading somebody for a quarterback right now. The Broncos would be trading a first-round pick for a quarterback right now. Stidham, they don't want to have to start a playoff game with Jared Stidham. I think we got to the point. Oh, no, not as long this time. It would be interesting, at least. The second to last play of overtime was a kneel. So did he break it on the kneel down, or did he break it on the play before the kneel down, which was the pass, right? Did he break it on the pass, then kneel down? Because he moved around on the kneel down. The play got tackled. I mean, I'll have to go back and watch it after I'm done this stream. I'll go find it. But, man, it's crazy still. Plain and simple, crazy. Crazy, 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 crazy. Get Peyton Manning to come out of retirement. Sure. I mean, all he's got to do is what he did in his last Super Bowl, right? Hand the ball off and throw 5 or 6 passes. That's all. Would he? Yeah. Maybe. Trying to think of somebody. Hold on, I'm going to do this real quick here. NFL free agency. I don't want 2026 free agents. That's what's popping up on my screen right now. I want 2025 filtering, position, quarterback. Right now, there's only 3 eligible quarterbacks on the free agent market that says available. C.J. Beathard, Jeff Driscoll, and Jake Fromm. There's got to be other guys available, but when I type in 25 free agents, that's who's all that's up there. 26 free agents, there's a lot of them, but their season already ended this year, so it can't be any of them. It's interesting. He also had that dumb play where he lost 2 yards. Does Brady leave the Niners game to throw his hat? That would be interesting. Tom Brady's going to come out at halftime, be like, I'm coming out of retirement. He would want to do it, too. Doesn't Peyton have a broken neck? Yeah, he played with it. I don't know if it was broken, but some disc issues for sure back there. Yeah. Reports are Romo offered after the game, but they declined. I would rather go with Jared Stidham than Tony Romo as well, for sure. Brady would have to, by the way, Brady would have to sell his ownership stake in the Raiders probably to do that as well. So yeah, that wouldn't work either. I know no intentions of staying live this long, but now I kind of feel like as we keep booming here tonight, I got to keep going. I need at least 1 new subscriber. I'm going live for 2.5 hours on a Saturday night. 89 viewers on YouTube so far. 23 likes. I haven't gained 1 new subscriber. What's up with that? That would be a hell of a line right there, right? Yeah, Josh Johnson. Still under contract technically. Romo would get killed also. Absolutely. I mean, he's terrible anyway. And Mark Sanchez is available. I mean, has he gotten out of jail yet? Mark Sanchez might be available, right? Nice broken tackle. Ooh, he took a shot to the helmet. How's that not a concussion there, man? Yeah, helmet-to-helmet contact there on that run play by Kenneth Walker there. Damn. Is he still in jail? Well, I mean, you could pull a Jake Crew, right? A Jake Crew or whatever his name is, and come out of jail and win a game, maybe. I don't know. Sugar Shane Falco available? Who's scraping shit off the bottom of rich people's boats right now? Right? Telling you. It's the moment that Colin Kaepernick's been waiting for. Yeah, true. We're getting a first down here. Charbonnet down on the ground, too. Yeah, it's a good call. Good call. Yeah, I don't think you're a free agent until the season's officially over, though. I don't know. That's a tough one. But I would love to say it. Why not? All right. I think I'm going to wrap this baby up here. I got a lot of Carson Wentz or Jalen Hurts hate to respond to right now. I got this Cowboys content creator telling me that Jalen Hurts is the worst player on our team and he holds us back. Yeah. Idiot comment. Idiot comment. I gotta get some idiot online. Oh, you can go to the UFL. DTR is on a UFL team. Where's Josh Allen's wasted career when you need him for UFL knowledge, right? He's crying himself right now because the Bills lost. That's what he's doing. But anyway, okay, I'm going to wrap this up, guys. This has been a fun-filled over two. I was going to go an hour and a half, maybe 2 hours. And we're sitting here over 2.5 hours of my Saturday night with you guys. I don't think I can go much longer. Plus, I'm out of wine. So, we're going to wrap this up. Y'all have a good night. We'll be back Monday morning, trending in the AM live. Guys, do me a solid and find me 19 subscribers by Monday morning. Please. Please help me out. Anyway, with that being said. Yeah, exactly. Anyway, let's wrap this up. Y'all have a good night. Go Birds. Bubbles up.